How to negotiate with motivated sellers. What's up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I want to break down exactly how to negotiate with your motivated sellers, my best tips and tricks, and my exact method and systems for negotiating with a motivated seller. I'm going to give you my biggest do's, my biggest don'ts, and exactly how to negotiate with them the right way. This is a little mini $1,000 negotiation crash course. So if you want to start talking to your motivated sellers in virtual wholesaling real estate and regular wholesaling real estate, I'm excited to break it all down today. Before we break it down, do me a big favor and smash the like button and subscribe, and let's get into it. So the biggest thing I can tell you when it comes to negotiating with a motivated seller that the average guru, the average whoever, influencer and wholesaler doesn't really talk about, but this is the most important part, is just knowing your MAO. I've done thousands of real estate wholesaling deals, and I can tell you right now that knowing your MAO is going to be the most important part when it comes to negotiating. It's going to give you that leverage. It's going to give that advantage when it talks about going to your seller and talking with their seller and being as successful as possible about it, because the point of the MAO, which is short for max allowable offer, is going to be the most we can offer the seller. So if we're buying a $100 bill, just a crisp little Benjamin $100 bill, and I talk to somebody and they're looking to sell that, right? I know that I can't offer more than $100. So I know I can't offer $105 for that $100 bill. That's a stupid thing to do, right? Like, why would anyone want to do it? I know I got to be below that. So maybe I offer them $70 for it, $75, and they say they can sell it for $80. I know when they want to sell it for $80, I know I'm going to make $20 on that transaction. That's the point of the MAO. Now, if you want to learn how to do MAO, just go to freewholesaling.com. It's my free real estate wholesaling course. More or less, MAO is calculated by doing ARV minus repairs, then multiplying it by either 70, 80, 83, or 85%, depending on your ARVs. Usually when your ARV is below $120,000, you can use 70%. About 80% if it's between 120 to 200, then 200 to 250, 270, 280. You can sort of get to 83%. Now, you're over 400,000, you should be about around 85% on there. You should know your MAO, and you should not go above that MAO. That's the best tip I give to you when it comes to negotiating with a motivated seller. Really, like, just don't go above it, and you're going to be fine. The next part here is, I can tell you, is when you're negotiating with a motivated seller, think about the low price that you want to offer them, or think of a really low price, and then go about 20 to 25% lower. Get uncomfortable with that offer. The point of negotiating starting out is to go for no. You want to get a no from that motivated seller. The point of wholesaling and the point of negotiating is to get a really good deal on your wholesaling transaction, right? So the point here is go for no. Make sure when you offer something to a seller that they're going to say no. And if they say yes, you get a really good deal. So just think of what a low price is, and that should be what you should get under contract for. If your low price is here, and this is a high price and this is a low price, offer this. They're going to be at this. You meet the middle at that really low price. And then at the end of the day there, you're going to make a ton more money doing that. So think of a really low price and then just be 25% below that. And that's what you should offer starting off the bat. The next part here is, there's either two ways to start the negotiations with the motivated seller. Number one, you get a price out of them first, or number two, you give them a low ball offer. There's two ways to be doing this. If you go to freewholesaling.com, I kind of break that down, but like really just, hey, Mr. Seller, how much can you get rid of the property for? How much are you looking to sell it for? What's your ballpark? And you just want to get a price from them first. Then maybe you want to counter at a very low price, and then maybe meet in the middle or go a little lower than that, or just negotiate from there. The people really overcomplicate the whole negotiating process. It's so overcomplicated. The truth is, they give you a price. Well, Mr. Seller, can you do this price? Me and my partner were sorted at this. There's really no convincing. I think a lot of people in negotiating think that it's about convincing somebody to go with your offer versus someone else. No, it's kind of a dance, right? Like, this is how much I can buy it for. Does that work for you? Like, really, you should stop overthinking it. And that's the next part here, is just like, people are just overthinking it. The point is just taking that action. What's the worst case scenario a seller says if you give a low price? No, I can't do that price. Okay, we'll get another one. Is it below your MAO? You're fine. A lot of people always ask, like, when should I say yes to it? Should I keep lowballing? So if my MAO is $100,000 for the house and they want to sell it for 60, and I offered them 50 and we're stuck at 60, like, should I take that 60? Should I not? Should I stay firm at 50 and walk? It really depends up to you. The thing is, it's hard to teach this because it's all fugazi, more or less. Like it's all in the air, right? It's what somebody's willing to take for the property. It's different for everyone. Some people are okay with taking that 60, some people aren't. I would say go with your gut, right? Like it's hard to say, but like if you lock it up for 60 and you're gonna make 40K, I think that's fine, right? Like I want to give the seller some money. I want them to be happy enough with it, and I want the cash buyer to be happy with their price so they can make some money. So I always like a win-win. I don't like to always take. I don't like a win-lose scenario. So if you think you can make a good amount of money on the deal, there's a lot of motivation. You have a cash buyer for it, and they want to sell it for this price. You're going to make 40K on it. Fine. Like I've done deals where I made 5K on the deal, and everyone was happy, and I made money where I was making 80K on the deal, and everyone was happy. The truth is, like you got to go with your gut. If the seller has such a low price that they might want to back out of the deal, if they indicate that, don't do that, right? And don't accept an offer that's way too high that you're not going to make any money. Be a person of your word. So stop overthinking it. When should you accept the terms of the deal? If it's something that's below your MAO that you're comfortable making that much money on it, go with it. I just don't. I don't think there's a specific formula for doing it right. I would love to make $100,000 every real estate wholesaling deal I do. The truth is no. My average margin is around $30,000-$40,000 more or less. If I wholesale, it goes up a little more. That's it. So some I do 70, some I do 20,000 on the deal. Like it depends on what the seller wants and their needs. So just stop overthinking it and go with your gut. That's the best thing I can do. Now the next one, the most important part here is you must condition your seller. Too many wholesalers are not conditioning their seller, and this is something you have to do. And what is conditioning a seller? I teach this at freewholesaling.com, but this is making sure the seller, when you meet with them and you give the offer, they're ready right there to make a yes or no decision. What is the worst thing that can happen during a negotiation? The seller says no. That's what most wholesalers say. The truth is that is actually not the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is if the seller says maybe. So there's 3 ways a negotiation can go down. They give you a yes, no, or a maybe. Maybe is the worst one. A no is not bad because you got to learn you're not going to get every single real estate wholesaling deal. Like everyone thinks they're going to get there's not a 100% closing rate. And once you learn that, it's going to be a lot better. Like heck, you look at Michael Jordan, you look at Kobe Bryant, look at LeBron James, the greatest shooters of all time, the greatest basketball players of all time. Heck, their free throw percentage was like 70, 80, 90%. It was never 100. Like they were not perfect, right? We're human beings. We're not perfect. You are not going to get every single deal you go on, every appointment. You're not going to go get some of them are just going to be a no, right? And if even you're the best and the best of the game, you're not going to close every single deal. I know a bunch of movies make it seem like that, but like even Jordan Belfort, he didn't close every single sale. He did a lot better than the average person, but he didn't close every single sale. And you got to understand, I don't close every single sale. I'll lowball an offer, and I have a seller that just wants to be above my MAO, and I just can't do it. And sometimes they say no, we shake hands, and we part ways, right? You just can't go above the MAO. But always ask your seller, hey, Mr. Seller, are you ready to go make a yes or no decision before I go on the property tomorrow, or we talk about it right now? Are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling the property? And if they are ready to do it, then you're good. Because when they say, oh, you know what, Zach, $50,000 for the house, maybe. Well, what do you mean by maybe? You just said you're going to make a yes or no decision. That's right. You know what? Fine, let's do it. That's the way you do it. The maybe is going to give you time, and time kills all deals. So if you understand that not every deal is going to be a deal, and you can only go with the deals that work, you're going to be fine. The last and most important part here that I have to tell you when it comes to negotiating with a motivated seller is be simple. Don't be this crazy car salesman or saleswoman type person. You got to keep it simple. When you overthink of this, you're going to fail. When you overthink of how much your MAO should be, how much your offer should be on the property, you overanalyze the deal. Guys, stop overanalyzing it. Just start taking action. Give an offer that's just way too low, like 25% of what you're comfortable with. And if you use the tactics that we teach at freewholesaling.com, you're not going to kick out of the house. They're not going to be upset. They're just going to say no, and you're going to counter, right? One tactic I always use is use a good cop, bad cop, where I'm like, hey, I was talking to my partner, Rick, and he was closer to $70,000 for the house. And that was a really uncomfortably low offer for what I would do. And if I said, hey, Mr. Seller, I can buy this for $70,000, he's going to get out of my house right now. But it's my partner who's not there. He's like, 70's way too low. Hey, he's crazy, right? What would you do? And then you negotiate from there. But I've always found when I kept it simple, when I kept it very relatable with my seller, I've always done better. I don't use complex terms. I don't say A or V. I don't use the word comps. I just say, hey, I'm looking to buy your house. Are you looking to sell it? Me and my partner are looking to buy the house cash. The people that negotiate and they're like, I got to talk to my financing department. Oh, I got to talk to the hedge fund and we're doing all this crazy stuff. You know, we're a big company, right? I'll go to the office, dude. When you keep it simple and when you can relate to a seller, that is the point. That's how you do really well. And the best piece of advice I can give to you is act like you're buying a car. And what I mean by it when I'm saying you're buying a car, act like you're buying a car. So when you act like you're buying a car, what you're going to do is, like, if you've bought a car, most people have, like, not with the dealership, but just like regular sale, you don't act like you're an expert on cars, right? You don't say I'm a master mechanic at buying cars. No, you're like, hey, I'm looking to buy the car. Let me test drive it. Let me look at it. Looks good, drives good, engine looks fine. I can buy it for this price. You don't overcomplicate when you buy a car. You don't pretend like you're an expert. But when people do that, then they go into wholesaling, they pretend like there's this crazy expert. They get so nervous to go meet somebody to go do a contract, and then they're so nervous to go in the appointment, and they're not nervous to go buy a regular car from somebody because they put the pressure off. You're just buying a car. It's the same thing as buying a house, and there's really no risk on it. So guys, don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. Make the right offer. Make the offer a little lower and know your MAO and don't go above it. That's my best success, and that's my best advice for success when it comes to negotiating with motivated sellers. If you got any value from this video, do me a big favor and smash the like button and subscribe. Go to freewholesaling.com. My ultimate A to Z guide for wholesaling real estate. Did I mention it's a free course? Like, it's free. There's no sales pitch. There's no mastermind I'm going to sell you on it. Everything I do is for free, guys. So go to freewholesaling.com. My entire negotiations, my lowball tactics, how to actually go out here and negotiate with the seller, how to pitch your seller, how to comp properties, find cash buyers, marketing, cold calling, all that stuff is at freewholesaling.com. My free contracts at all. So guys, do me a big favor. Check out freewholesaling.com. Smash that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.